Hot FM. Hot FM proudly supports the Benidorm Enthusiast and your favorite YouTube channel, Benidorm Stuff.
Hi guys, the Benidorm Enthusiast here with Benidorm Stuff YouTube channel. I'm bringing you a news update video today on the latest travel requirements and restrictions, as we've had some pretty major changes come into force over the last few days. So I'm going to be going through them and explaining them to you in this video. First of all, changes to the entry requirements for Spain from the UK, which came into effect on the 1st of December. For tourism reasons now, everybody aged 12 and above must be fully vaccinated in order to enter Spain. Where before a negative test result could be shown to allow entry to Spain, this is no longer the case. Only those who have completed the vaccination schedule can now come into Spain as a tourist. It doesn't affect Spanish citizens or residents returning here. And there are also some essential reasons for travel which provide exemptions. I'm not going to go through those as they won't apply to most of you watching this video, but you can find them on the Spanish government website if you need to. For tourists, the only exemptions are the under 12 age group. Now, there has been a lot of confusion regarding the 12 to 15 age group due to the fact that they have only been offered one dose so far in the UK, which isn't accepted as fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated means having had both doses of a 2-dose vaccine or one dose of a single-dose vaccine, and this must be completed at least 14 days before arriving in Spain. So this does not cover those 12 to 15-year-olds who have only had one dose of the Pfizer vaccine in the UK. The Pfizer vaccine is a 2-dose vaccine, so even though the young teenagers have only been given one dose up to now in the UK, this is not considered fully vaccinated. Lots of disappointed families out there, I would imagine, that have now had to cancel their Christmas holidays, and this vaccination requirement will be in place for a month at least, so it will take us over the whole Christmas and New Year period. The next travel requirement change is to UK policy regarding the return to the UK for fully vaccinated passengers. The day 2 test that has to be done after arriving back in the UK must now be a PCR rather than a lateral flow test, and everybody must self-isolate until getting a negative result. The test can be done on or before day 2, so you can do it as soon as you arrive back in the UK, but you still have to isolate until you get those negative results, which will make it impossible for some to travel. Not everybody can get the extra time off or afford it, and the PCR tests are more expensive than the lateral flows, so again this has caused a lot of disruption to people's travel plans and has led already to lots of cancellations. The next thing I want to talk about is the restriction brought in by the Valencian government for our region over Christmas. It is already in place in other parts of Spain and has now started here, and this is the implementation of the requirement to show the COVID certificate to enter certain venues. The COVID certificate is a document which shows your COVID status, and this will now be necessary to access some establishments and events over the next month. There are 3 types: vaccination, diagnostic and recovery. The vaccination certificate can be obtained once fully vaccinated. The diagnostic can be obtained after providing a negative test result within 72 hours for a PCR and 48 for a lateral flow. And the recovery certificate is if you have recovered from COVID in the last 6 months. As from Saturday 4th of December, you will be asked to show your certificate along with your ID to prove it's yours in the following places: bars, restaurants, cafes, nightclubs, leisure and entertainment venues with a capacity of more than 50 people, places of recreational and gambling activities with restaurant service, and it will also be necessary for hospital and social service residents' visits and for events, celebrations and music festivals attended by more than 500 people. There's an app that these places use to scan the QR code on the certificate. They will check it along with your ID and this will grant access. At the moment, the Valencian government have said they don't want to introduce any further restrictions over Christmas, those such as capacity limitations or enforced closing times or even a curfew, but they haven't ruled it out completely. The hope is that this COVID pass will slow infections and there won't be the need for further restrictions. Now, please don't shoot the messenger when it comes to comments on this video. I don't make these rules, I don't work for the government or the authorities. All I'm trying to do here is inform people of what's going on, what the regulations are, what the situation is, and get the information out to people so they can be prepared. Whether or not I agree with them really isn't relevant. This is how it is, this is the situation. I was quite shocked by the amount of nasty comments and even some pretty vile messages sent to me personally after our last video on this subject. I understand everyone is frustrated and fed up with all this. I am. But please let us all try and be kind to one another. And that includes internet and social media comments. This is affecting everybody in some way or another. It affects us all differently. We all have different ways of dealing with things and we all have good and bad days. But I don't think hateful comments help anyone, especially over the Christmas period, which can be a very fragile time for people's mental health already. So let's try and help each other through this and not bring each other down. That's about it from me. A quick update on the numbers for Spain before I go. The 14-day incidence for Spain is up to 234 per 100,000 people. In the Valencia region, it is slightly above the national average at 247, and Benidorm itself is higher again than the average for the region at over 500 cases per 100,000 now. As discussed on a previous video, the numbers for Benidorm don't really give a full picture of the situation, as they are calculated on resident population and not on a ratio with how many people are actually here. But those are high numbers, and they are the numbers. But what's more important is the hotel occupancy figures, and this is what they are concentrating on more now to determine risk. The hospital admissions are also on the rise. Not so rapidly has been seen in previous waves, but some of the indicators are worrying the experts in the field at the moment. We now have to see what the effects of this new variant have. There are no confirmed cases yet in our region, but it is only a matter of time really, with cases confirmed in Madrid and Catalonia and cases suspected in Mallorca awaiting confirmation. That's all from me today, guys. Not really an enjoyable video, but thank you for watching. I hope it has at least helped you to understand the recent changes to rules and regulations. On a happier note, look at this weather. It is absolutely beautiful today. 18 degrees, pure blue skies and sunshine. And it's forecast to stay this way for the next week or so at least. Cannot grumble at that for December. Keep an eye out for our upcoming videos where we will be taking you out and about around Benidorm again to show you what it's like in December. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of those videos. And also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok at the Benidorm Enthusiast. Stay positive and stay safe.